The neon skyline of San Francisco vibrated with the hum of high-frequency energy. In the sub-basement of the Boulder Hill headquarters, the air smelled of ozone, hydraulic fluid, and high-performance gasoline. Matt Tracker stood before the central console, his face illuminated by the flickering holographic interface. Beside him, a sleek, silver chassis stood upright, its optical sensors dark. This was Unit 7, the prototype for the Robotix M.A.S.K. integration project. "Status, Miles?" Tracker asked, his voice steady. Miles Mayhem, who had recently defected from VENOM under a cloud of deep space revelations, adjusted his collar. "The neural link is stable, Matt. The Robotix core is compatible with the Spectrum M.A.S.K's energy field, but the synchronization is aggressive. It doesn't just pilot the vehicle, it becomes the vehicle." The M.A.S.K, Mobile Armored Strike Command, vehicles were masterpieces of engineering, but they were bound by human limits. Robotix, recovered from the wreckage of the Zitron conflict, offered a consciousness that could process combat variables in nanoseconds. Suddenly, the red emergency lights pulsed. A surge of localized seismic activity tracked toward the Golden Gate Bridge. "VENOM is hitting the power grid," Tracker said, pulling his helmet from the rack. "They're using the new Goliath platform. It's too heavy for standard intercept." "Then use the link," Mayhem said, stepping back. Tracker stepped into the chamber. He slotted the Spectrum M.A.S.K into his helmet and locked his neural dampeners. As the helmet sealed, the silver unit, a sleek multi-terrain cruiser, began to glow. "Connection confirmed," a synthetic voice echoed in Tracker's mind. It wasn't a computer voice. It was a blend of his own thoughts and the cold, crystalline logic of the Robotix entity. Tracker climbed into the driver's seat. As he engaged the ignition, the vehicle didn't just roar. It surged with a sentient, kinetic energy. The car's chassis shifted, chassis plates unfolding like butterfly wings, the Robotix core locking into the frame's mainframe. "M.A.S.K gear initiated," Tracker said, his voice overlapping with a metallic harmonic. "Spectrum activated." He burst out of the Boulder Hill hidden exit, the vehicle transforming mid-jump into a high-velocity aerial pursuit craft. Above the bridge, he saw the Goliath, a massive, articulated monstrosity piloted by sly racks. It was tearing through the suspension cables with laser cutters. "They think they're fighting a car, Tracker," Rax shouted over the tactical frequency. "You're an antique." Tracker didn't respond. He felt the bridge. The Robotix core mapped every stress point on the cables. He didn't just see the terrain, he felt the structural integrity of the steel and the wind resistance of the air. With a thought, the Spectrum M.A.S.K emitted a wave of blinding light, while the Robotix integration allowed the vehicle to perform a gravity-defying drift in midair, shifting its mass distribution instantly. "You're not fighting a car, Rax," Tracker said, his voice echoing with the authority of 1,000 processors. "You're fighting a battlefield." The vehicle flipped, cannons locked onto the Goliath support pillars, and fired a precision burst that neutralized the weaponry without collapsing the bridge. The Robotix intelligence calculated the exact vector for the blast, compensating for the swaying cables with mathematical perfection. As the Goliath tumbled into the bay, Tracker pulled back, the vehicle's thrusters glowing gold. The integration was taxing. He could feel his nerves frayed by the sheer volume of data, but as he banked toward home, he knew the game had changed. Technology and humanity were no longer just layered, they were fused. The age of the M.A.S.K agent was evolving into something far more formidable. "Return to base," Tracker whispered. "Affirmative," the vehicle replied in perfect, haunting unison with his own voice.